Hey, what's up everyone, it's Bill Alter Tech back again with a new video. In today's video we have the full review of the OnePlus 8T Plus 5G from T-Mobile. Okay, so there are some obvious differences between the unlocked version. You do have dual SIM capabilities and faster software updates. As for the T-Mobile version, you'll be getting an IP68 dust and water rating, and you'll also be getting standalone 5G. So the retail price is $749. You get a Snapdragon 865 processor. You have 12 gigabytes of RAM with the LPDDR4X technology. You also have a 256 gigabytes of storage with the UFS 3.1, and UFS 3.1 is actually 3 times faster than the standard UFS 3.0. You also have a 4,500 mAh battery, and you also get a Warp Charger 65 in the box, which gets you from 1 to 58% in just 15 minutes. As for the display, it's a 6.55-inch Fluid AMOLED display with a resolution of 2400 by 1080p. You also have 402 pixels per inch, and of course you do have 120 Hz. And with this large display, you can go ahead and change the calibration settings as well. If you guys want some vivid colors like on the older Samsung phones, you also have the option to change it to some natural colors, or you could go from AMOLED wide gamut to the sRGB. Now, what exactly makes this phone great? And that's going to start with the Oxygen OS. This has excellent RAM management. Out the box, it's easy to use and set up. It has minimal bloatware. You have transitions, animations, and performance which are all smooth and fast, and it doesn't require much maintenance. And best of all, this is perhaps the fastest Android experience on the market. So the main question is, how can you build the best phone around Oxygen OS? Well, number one, you add 120 Hz. Number two, you add a fast and accurate fingerprint sensor, and this actually has the fastest in-display fingerprint sensor in the entire Android market in the USA. And this also works with pretty much all tempered glass screen protectors. You also would add a large display without making the phone heavy. You would add dual stereo speakers. You would add a notification switch for easy access, and you would add the fastest charging technology. And this would all give you the best Android experience to date, in my opinion. Now, what makes this phone great is the attention to detail. This has an IP68 rating. It has a Gorilla Glass 5 on the front and back. It feels and even looks premium. It has a metallic framework around it. It's sturdy, and the buttons feel firm, and even the notification slider feels solid, so there isn't any much wiggle room. And it also has premium haptics. It has this calming sound to it. If you guys are curious, this is what it sounds like. And it also has a modern camera design, which some people were disappointed by, but when I actually try to figure out why, it's because everyone else has done it and they were looking for something different. So in my opinion, I think OnePlus was a bit late to the game. For the size of this phone, it's very thin and lightweight, so there's less strain on your hands and fingers. Now, as for the software updates, you're going to get bi-monthly software updates. You're not going to get the fastest updates like you get on a Pixel, but that's something I've learned to live with, and it doesn't bother me anymore. But the thing that does bother me is that older phones get less priority on updates. So once the OnePlus 9 comes out, once the OnePlus 10 comes out, the software updates on this phone is going to get slower and slower, and it'll get pretty much left behind. So that's something I wish OnePlus could work on. But on the bright side, it's still better than other brands aside from Google and Samsung, and T-Mobile performs their own software testing as well. So by the time this update comes, all the bugs should be pretty much hashed out. As for the sound on this phone, it does have dual stereo speakers. The quality could be better, but I'd say it's average at best. It gets pretty loud, and if you're not happy with the sound, you can go ahead and change the sound presets in the settings menu. And finally, let's go ahead and talk about the cameras. Now, I'll say this, I've been able to take some really good photos, and you guys can check them out on my website. And some of them I did do some editing, some of them I did use Gcam, and some of them I didn't do any editing at all, and I used the stock camera app. So go ahead, check them out. You'll get a good idea to see what the capabilities of this camera actually is. Now, here's what I don't like about the cameras. Number one, the autofocus. It's unreliable. Number two, the software processing. The contrast is just way too high at times, and images feel really soft, unless you switch to the 48 megapixel mode. You also have bad low light performance. It's nothing near what Samsung and the iPhone and Google has to offer. And on top of that, with the AI system in place, photos are a hit or miss. But on the bright side, there's excellent Gcam support from the community, and Pro mode it's still there. It's still one of the best in the business. So if you guys are in photography, I would advise you guys to really use pro mode and try to learn how to use Gcam as well. So at the end of the day, guys, you're going to get a solid phone with excellent battery life, the fastest Android performance, the fastest charging, the fastest fingerprint unlock under the display, the fastest face unlock. And if that's not good enough for you, if you guys want that fireworks from Samsung, I don't blame you. But I am really happy with this phone, and I enjoy using this phone so much that I don't really pick up my iPhone or my Samsung as much. The amount of thought that came into the design, into the comfort of this phone, you really feel it when you use this phone. Now, I would recommend a nice clear TPU case to give you guys the best comfort, but the camera system is the only thing that takes this phone away from reaching true greatness. Now, as for the OnePlus 9 series, hopefully they address this, but right now, if you guys were able to pick this up at a great deal from T-Mobile, you're probably going to enjoy this. If you guys really value that fast, smooth Oxygen OS experience, this is the phone to get. So in my opinion, this phone is OnePlus at its best. Alright guys, so if you have any questions or comments, please hit me up down below. This is my full review of the OnePlus 8T. If you guys have any questions or comments, please hit me up down below. Peace.